Okay, everybody. Thank you all for joining me. We're really excited about the Southern Premier Meet and traveling out to Nashville, Tennessee. And it's going to be a fun, exciting, team-oriented focus meet. Uh, I know the coaching staff is super excited to get all the age groupers and senior swimmers together for their championship meet. It's something that we haven't done and something that I believe is going to be beneficial to everybody. So just to start out, I'd like to talk a little bit about just the importance of team travel. I really feel like this is an important part of learning how a swimmer needs to travel outside our LSC. We have meets such as tags and different meets around the state of Texas where people travel to different cities. So getting outside of our city, I think, is a great thing. As you progress up into our senior level swimming, we are going to move into traveling outside the state of Texas. And so we really want to prepare our swimmers to be able to do that. Also, if your child is going to swim high school swimming, your child is going to be traveling with their high school team, usually either to their high school region meet or to the high school state meet. So learning how to travel on their own and being comfortable doing that, I believe, is one of the first few steps of being successful at those higher level meets. So the big focus for us as a coaching staff is going to be talking about how to deal with adversity. And what those swimmers need to do and how to advocate for themselves. I have 3 children of my own, and I understand that some kids, it's very, very scary to talk to adults. So this is a great opportunity for them to be able to be around their coaches who they're usually very comfortable with and in a fun environment. So we will be focusing on some of those things throughout the trip. But I want you guys to understand that safety is our number one priority. We want kids to swim fast. We want kids to have fun, but safety is first and foremost. We are traveling on planes, buses. We're going back and forth from the hotel to the swim center. And we're going to do this in a group effort and make sure everybody's safe and secure as we do so. We're going to have 10 coaches on this trip. And 2 to 3 chaperones as well to help support the coaching staff. Just to talk about some things about prior to the trip. I know our coaches have sent out some forms, some medical forms, some code of conduct forms. These are very important to get in and for us to have. The medical forms or the medical release forms basically give us power to take your child to the hospital if there's an issue. Our coaching staff has dealt with these things before. I've done this multiple times where we've had to take kids to the hospital, anywhere from getting a fever to bumping their head to having an injury. There's all different things that we've had to do. And so we have a very, very experienced staff, and we're excited to be able to do this. But please start out first with filling out those forms and making sure you turn those in. The other thing that one of those forms that we are going to turn in is the code of conduct form. We have standards anytime we are on LAC, either at a practice or at a swim meet. And so now we have standards for our code of conduct on a travel trip. Please do me a favor and read over those code of conduct points with your child so they understand what is expected of them. The coaching staff will do the same. And I'll talk about when we kind of do this as a group setting. But I think as parents, I think this is a great opportunity for you to have your children read this, talk about the different things on the code of conduct, and for them to understand what's expected. We're going to have a combined practice at Northwest ISD on Saturday, February 25th. We're going to send an email out with this information, so don't worry, you don't have to write this stuff down. But we'll have it's going to be a combined tags, sectional, Southern Premier meet practice. We'll have a 7:30 to 9 group, and then a 9 to 10:30 group. At these practices, we'll give out gear. We'll have some team meetings and kind of go over some policies and different things. And it'll be a good way to get everybody together. We will be giving out gear at that point in time. We will be sending out an email prior to leaving, I would say about 2 weeks out. This email will go over the itinerary in very detailed manner, including who's going to be on what flights, what groups are going where, different things like that, what t-shirts to wear, how we're going to go to the pool, what time we expect to go everywhere, either to the pool, to breakfast, to dinner, different things like that, when we're going to have a team meeting. The hotel that we're staying at is very close to the pool and has a big conference room that we're going to be able to have meals and meetings at. So it's a great place for us to come together as a team. But look out for that email with the important things on there. Now, when we go on the trip, this is going to be a very business-like trip in that we're not doing any excursions out to different areas of Nashville. Basically, because we're in school, we're going to arrive on Thursday, and we're going to leave on Monday. And when we arrive on Thursday, we have multiple different flights, as you guys can see on our website that you guys have attached to different coaches. And what we're going to do is we're going to have everybody arrive at a specific time based on your group. So my flight, let's say, goes out at 8:45 a.m. We're going to have everybody arrive around 6:45, 7 a.m. We would really like the theme of this, especially teaching our young kids, to arrive 5 to 10 minutes early. That is on time, and being on time is late. So especially when we're dealing with groups of kids, we want to make sure that we have everybody, and then we can move on to our next destination. One of the things that we're going to do is we're going to have an attire that everybody's going to need to wear. We're going to have a specific colored shirt every single day. Each swimmer on this trip will get 2 shirts. They'll get our championship meet shirt that everybody will wear at our championship meets around at tag, sectionals, and Southern Premier. And then we'll have 1 other shirt that we wear, as well as 2 other shirts that we will wear on the plane flight. Please make sure that you have a starter pack and you have a gray, a red, and a black LAC shirt. The reason that we want to have this is to make sure that everybody's traveling together. And when we travel together and everybody's wearing the same color or same type of LAC shirts, it's easier for the coaches to see where everybody is. When we arrive to the airport, the coaching staff will pay for your bag. Okay, your child's bag. Our coaches will arrive about 20 to 30 minutes prior to when you guys should get there. So once you get to the check-in area of the gate, a coach will be there. They will check you, they will help check you in, and then they will pay for your bag, and then we will bill that to you after the trip is over. Let's see. Once we get into the airport, the kids will be moving as a group. We will allow kids to go to the bathroom, do things like that. But the one thing that we will not allow is swimmers to do things on their own. They will have to be in groups of 3. We want them to be safe and secure, and groups of 3 really help that out. One of the things that we will be doing throughout the trip is we will be communicating with the swimmers and the parents. And the one way that we do this is through the Remind app. And so I will ask you guys to download the Remind app, and our coaching staff will communicate everything from getting to the airport, getting kids through security, getting kids onto the plane, telling everybody we're taking off. This way, the parents understand what we're doing, where we're going. And I know I have 3 children, and getting them to communicate with me is not always easy. So we hope that with this, the parents understand exactly what we're trying to do. We will also post announcements on there. We'll post different relays. We'll post what time to meet at a specific area if we're in a specific place. Just like anything, when you travel, you're going to have to deal with some adversity, and we may have delays or even flight cancellations. We will cross that path when that happens. Every one of our coaches who's on this trip has had to deal with something like this before, and we will do our best to communicate with y'all in the Remind app, as well as having your swimmers communicate with you. So we understand that delays can happen, and we will do our best to make sure those will be remedied as much as possible. Once we get to Nashville, we will have buses that will take us from the airport to the hotel and to the swim center. We will also use those buses to go to the grocery store and get kids snacks. We will provide meals. We'll provide 3 meals for our swimmers: a breakfast, a lunch, and a dinner. Our breakfast and dinner will be at the hotel. Our lunch may or may not be at the hotel, depending on the timeline of where we're at that day and where the swim meet is. And we'll know that closer and closer we get to the start of the meet. So, but we will have a information on lunches coming out soon. So it's a really easy Google Doc that we will have for swimmers. We do understand that we have swimmers with different allergies, as well as we have swimmers who are vegan or vegetarian, and we will provide a meal for those kids. They will not have to eat the standard meal. Everybody else will need to eat those meals, but we will go to the grocery store to allow them to have snacks so they don't have to carry those things on the flight. So please talk to your kids about what they need to be doing at the grocery store and what they need to be getting. We will make sure that they do not load their carts up with candy or bad things. So we're here for a swim meet, so we're going to do our best to make sure they have some pretty good snacks. Let's see. Okay, our hotel is 1 to 2 blocks away from the pool. It's on the Vanderbilt campus. We chose this hotel so we could have the ease of going back and forth from the swim meet to the hotel. We will have chaperones and or coaching staff at the hotel anytime swimmers will be at the hotel. We ask that parents do not stay at our team hotel. The reason that we ask that is security is our biggest focus, and we want to make sure that kids are not leaving to go with their parents. We understand that your children will listen to you first and us second. So please help us out and keep the lines of authority to where we can have our kids not going to a parent's room in the same hotel. There are a number of hotels around the area that are in close proximity to the swim meet. Now, if you want to see your children, not a problem. We're excited to have you see them at the swim meet. We do not want our swimmers to be sitting with you in the stands. We want them on the pool deck with our team. But you can definitely talk to your kids there at the swim meet. We have no problem with you guys coming to the hotel and talking with your swimmers and meeting with your swimmers in the lobby. The one thing that we ask you guys to do is not bring your child a different meal when we are having a meal as a team. We will be sending out all the different menus so you guys will understand what your children will be eating on a regular basis. Let's see. We will do room checks and different things following USA Swimming's 2 Deep leadership, meaning that we will have 2 coaches and or a coach and a chaperone doing those room checks and being around the athletes as much as possible. We will not have at any point in time one coach and one athlete together on their own. We will not allow that to happen. So we will make sure, again, we're in groups of 3. That is the focus. Let's see. Making sure I hit all my notes. Billing, we will be billing this in different quarters. So we'll be billing out throughout this process. I believe our first bill has either come or is coming soon. We will always go about 3/4 of the bill will be due before the trip, and then we will finalize whatever that bill is based on the expenses we actually occur. So please look for the final bill to come out sometime within a week after our trip is over. The biggest thing that we want to do is teach our kids to be a team, have fun, and see these kids race and really come together as a group. I can tell you that kids swim better and participate better when they're swimming not just for themselves, but when they're swimming for something bigger than themselves, like a team and the person next to them. And that's really our focus. So parents, please look out for different communications that will be happening through email. If you have any questions, please contact myself or any of the coaches on the trip. Coach Pishko, Jeff Pishko, will be leading kind of the administrative portion of this trip. So you will see a number of emails and communication coming from him. So please look out for that. But we will also have different coaches sending out different things. We're sending, I believe, about 120 swimmers and 10 coaches, 2 to 3 chaperones. It's a very large group. One of the things that we may be asking for is some help from parents, but we will make sure we do that prior to leaving as much as possible. This is pretty much all I have out of the moment, so I'm going to open it up to questions. Wow. All right. No questions. Okay. Well, if there's no questions, please feel free to email me or Coach Jeff Pishko. Any specific questions you have, please fill out any documents or forms that we've sent out so far. I know more will be coming. We will do our best to post everything on the event page, so you guys have a place where all the information will be stored and housed. That information will be everything from the Remind app to the itinerary to a number of the emails we will be sending out for information for y'all. But if you guys don't have any other questions, thank you very much for joining. We will be emailing this out to everybody tomorrow morning.
Hey, Jason, sorry, this is one quick question.
Yes.
We book the airlines. We don't have to book the hotel for the kids, correct?
That is correct. Good. Very good question. Yes. You guys will need to book your child's flight. We have secured the hotel and all transportation and food for your swimmers. The one thing that I will recommend is to have your swimmer bring some cash, just in case they want to buy anything, for example, groceries and or any swim meet gear they want to purchase, and also just to have a little bit of extra cash, just in case, for extra food somewhere.
Sure.
So that's the one thing I want to make sure. If we do get stuck in Nashville for some reason, we do have a backup plan. So we are ready for different things like that. Now, if we're there for a week or two, we will do our best. But we do have a backup plan just in case there's weather or airline issues like we have seen before.
Wonderful. Thank you.
No problem. Any other questions? Well, thanks, everybody. I appreciate all of your time. Hope you have a good evening.
Thank
I do
you.
have a quick
Bye-bye.
question.
Yes.
Hey, do you know, with him being gone from school, how can we make that excused?
I don't know if most schools will excuse it. I will be happy
Okay.
to write up a letter explaining where we're
Okay.
going and what we're doing and post that on the website here in the
Okay.
next week or so.
Okay, is that something I've dealt with before? With schools and
Yes,
schools?
most schools don't excuse the absence. But it just all depends on the school. But I mean, some of the national level meets like Olympic trials or nationals, different things like that, they may excuse some of them. But what we found is, at least in the last couple of years, they have not excused those.
Okay, all right, good to know. Thank you.
I can tell you, this is Nikki Rogers, LISD employee. I can tell you that it's for Louisville ISD. A parent note will suffice in order to get it excused. And then unless you're over your 10 absences. But a parent note will suffice for an excused absence.
Thanks, Nikki.
No problem.
Okay, thank you.
Coach, I had a couple of questions.
Yes.
Is the format of the meet prelims finals, or is it all?
Good question. That it is a prelim final meet. So it's a 3-day meet. So we go prelims on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and then finals those evenings.
Got it. And I think you said earlier there is not really going to be time for any excursions. It'll just be basically going to the meet in the morning and evening, and then, you know, meals and.
Yes. Unfortunately, we don't have an extra day to go do sightseeing stuff. If this was during the summertime, we'd be able to do that. But with school, we really don't want to have that opportunity to have kids. They're already missing some days at school, so that's why we're not doing that this time.
Makes sense. Great, thank you.
Well, thanks, everybody. Hope you guys have a good night.
Good night. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.